How many of you have outrageously stiff and tight wrists that don't really meet this 90-degree angle? So how does that affect things like your push-ups and your handstand push-ups, as well as just your simple ability to navigate the wrist during exercises? What about like during cleans when you have to exaggerate that range of motion, or if you practice any kind of grappling or anything? Like, when do you use your wrist, basically? If you have a really tight, really weak wrist, all of this is going to be really weak. Your entire grip strength, and that's going to impact your ability to display power through your back, etc. So how do we open up the wrist? We're literally going to work on opening up the joint itself. All you need, this is just one simple drill, guys. You're going to take your resistance band that you use for your joint mobility work, tie it around something, and get kind of low with it. Now, we're going to create a distraction. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that you are extraordinarily stable on the ground. So this is sort of an awkward position. We're going to be down on your hands and knees, and you want to not have such an excessive amount of tension that you risk getting pulled over. You don't lose your positioning here. But if you're good enough to stand here and you can control your hand and wrist there, that's probably good enough. If you're struggling and you're like, hey, out here with it, that's too much. You got to bring it in tighter, or bring it in closer so it's not so tight. But I take this, and I'm going to do this in all directions, but I'm only going to show it in one because otherwise I'll have my ass to the camera. But I'm going to take this. It doesn't matter what the angle is right now in terms of direction it's pulling on my wrist, but I need to be on the ground. Now, if I have my body way too far out, I'm just going to slide out. And I want to be on a nice grippy floor. So like typical rubber gym matting helps a lot with this because of the traction. But I pull that in. And now all I'm going to do here, check this out. This is super advanced. I'm going to make little wrist circles. And that is literally all I'm doing. So I would go for about 30 seconds in one direction, 30 seconds having it pull somewhere else. Now I have the band quite high, and that's not intentional, just because the arm of the squat rack here is in the way. So normally I'd move that and have this, because it is kiting up the forearm, which is fine for right now. But I would go 30 seconds in each of the four directions. So having it pull your wrist going back, going to the left, going to the right, and going front. What I would want to do is actually before doing this and right after, so only do one side and then retest, go into your press-up position and lean forward into it. So what I mean by that, get into your plank, keep your hands facing forward, so fingertips are facing forward, and lean forward into that. So that you're trying to exaggerate your wrist extension, your wrist going back like that, your hands going back like that as much as possible, and feel how it is. Does it feel stiff? Does it feel tight? Does it feel like, I should be able to move further, but I can't? Is it painful? And then you do one side with this, then you retest again and you say, oh, this side suddenly feels really light. There's nowhere near as much pain, or there's no pain at all. Now I can do the other side, and now, hey, I'm pain-free. How simple and easy is that? If you suffer with chronic pain, chronic injuries, athletic injuries, I have got you covered. My name is Ethan Hammond, and I am a strength and rehab specialist. I work with people who want to return to sport and fitness, but feel that they can't because of pain and injuries. I've helped people with conditions such as lower back pain, ACL tears, shin splints, neck pain and chronic headaches, and so many more things. Now, a lot of you will be going through things like this, like what I just listed above, and you're saying that you cannot train anymore. Bullshit. You have got to train, and you've got to train right. Train or complain, that is the way this works. Now, I work in person in Southampton, England, but I have online services as well if you're a bit further out. And I also offer free consultations to get you started with a free game plan and strategy for getting out of pain. All you have to do is to send me a text or a WhatsApp message to 07 305 231 339, and I will personally get back to you in the next 24 hours to get you started on the road to proper recovery. If you are serious about leveling up and making real change, this is how you start.